All right, everyone, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Going to be breaking down the Monday Night Showdown here that we have between the Raiders and the Cowboys. Let's go and get into it. So what's interesting about this game is going to be the high point total, guys, 49.7 points, which to me does seem to be a little bit too high. Looking at the spread, it is a 3.5 point spread. So Vegas is expecting this game to be close. Now, I kind of like the Cowboys to win this game. They're coming in off of a bye week. The Raiders looked good defensively last week, but also really poor offensively. And it's tough for me to see them competing. So I think we want to be more so on the Cowboys. But when we look at some of the values that we are getting, the better values that we are getting are going to be with the Raiders, starting with a player like Tyler Lockett, where in his first real game there with the Raiders, guys, ended up with 6 targets, 5 receptions, ended up getting 59% of the snaps, also 79% route share in that game as well. So the interesting thing about Tyler Lockett is he played in all but one snap from 11 personnel, but didn't play any snaps out of 12 personnel. And so I do think we would see a lot of 12 personnel if this game ends up staying close. And obviously, if the Raiders are winning this game, then Tyler Lockett is actually not as good of a play, where if they're playing from behind, he actually becomes a better play because he's just going to be on the field, okay? And so he is very much a play that you can be on based off of really how you see this game going or how the game does go. You could very much do script-based builds with him. So, for example, if you like Javonte Williams a lot, obviously if Javonte Williams is having a good game, getting a lot of rush attempts, it's probably going to mean that the Cowboys are playing with the lead. Thus, Tyler Lockett becomes a better play. Okay, but overall, I do think Tyler Lockett is a very strong play at his price tag. I don't think we need to play him in the captain spot, although maybe. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys do give up the most passing touchdowns to opposing receivers. But yeah, 3.4, guys, one of the better values that I think we are getting on this slate. That being said, Thornton ended up playing a decent amount as well. And I did just mention that, the Cowboys do give up a lot of touchdowns, 16 touchdowns now to opposing receivers. Trey Tucker's not necessarily a big TD maker. Tyler Lockett's not necessarily a big TD maker. We know that Brock Bowers is basically, a receiver. He's the one you want to be targeting, but it wouldn't be shocking if Thornton actually has a decent amount of touchdown equity in this game here. So I don't mind him. Bash, I don't think we're looking at, guys. He is just an afterthought in this offense right now. So we're not looking at him. And then I did mention that the team does tend to run a lot of 12 personnel. They ran 47% of their snaps out of 12 personnel in the last game. Obviously, it was a lower scoring game. That's kind of what they want. And so Michael Mayer is not a terrible punt play. I do think he's going to be able to get to right around 5 DFS points, which is what he's done the last 2 weeks. I just don't think we necessarily need to go out of our way to target him. If he's going to be in some sort of GPP winning lineup, it'd be because he scores a touchdown, and I just don't think that's very likely for him. From there, I do think we want to be going out of our way to target Ashton Jeanty. He is the offense right now, guys. Played 88% of the snaps. They're trying to get him involved. 5 targets the last 2 weeks. He is the offense. So I do want to play him. If he's going to be like a slight breaker in the captain spot, he needs to score multiple touchdowns, and I just don't think I really see that here. And then for Geno Smith, I don't know, guys. Geno Smith has had 2 good games, really 1 good game. I know against Washington, 1 off there, 3 touchdowns. Okay, so maybe 3, maybe 2. But most of the time, we have seen him look terrible. Okay. And this is a good matchup. He should be able to play well. It's just tough for me to get there with how bad he has looked thus far this year. Maybe he turns it around, but he is still without Jacoby Myers, his receiver number 1 coming into the season. So I don't know. I'm worried about him as a play. Brock Bowers is someone I think we can be looking at. He's been someone that's had a pretty good floor. The first game without Jacoby Myers absolutely went off. And then against Denver, who is, a pretty good defense, really struggled. I do think we want to be getting to him though. Trey Tucker is, I don't know, he's tough to get to. He played 100% of the snaps. He just didn't do much. Okay, he only had 3 targets and 4 targets. It's tough to really get him right. Watch him go off like he did against the Commanders, like he did against the Commanders. I don't know. For the Sunday Night Showdown video, I kind of mentioned that I thought Jameson Williams was a better almost captain play than he was flex play because he is someone that could score a touchdown. I kind of view Trey Tucker there, but I don't necessarily feel like we need to go out of our way to target him. I don't mind their kicker. could definitely be on him. And then we go ahead and get to Dallas. Dallas is more simple as well, guys. We are trying to get to CeeDee Lamb for sure. I mean, CeeDee Lamb has just been dominating, very high target share. He is going to be the best captain option. That's why he's priced that way. And I think he's someone that we should be trying to go out of our way to target. That being said, I do really like Dak Prescott as well. Kind of fallen off a little bit here recently. We needed to get him to multiple touchdowns. And it's almost like a spot where I don't mind the idea of getting to Dak in the captain spot or Javonte Williams in a bunch of builds where we're kind of doing that. Like, to me, it's going to be CeeDee Lamb, Dak, and Javonte Williams as the players we're going out of our way to roster in the captain spot. Probably will have some of George Pickens in there. I'm fine with George Pickens. Like, he's okay. But the issue really with the Cowboys is it is very top heavy. We want to be on Dak, we want to be on Pickens, we want to be on CD for sure. Javonte's pretty solid, a little bit touchdown dependent. I do worry that Jake Ferguson is going to struggle. The Raiders have actually been pretty good at stopping opposing tight ends, so that's like the spot I'm not into. And then we also have Brandon Aubrey there. He's a decent play. If the Cowboys actually are playing from behind, Ryan Flournoy could get some work. He actually ended up playing over 50% of the snaps in their previous game, which was week 9. They had the bye week in week 10. So I don't know. It's tough for me to really like them. And then the Cowboys DST, honestly, guys, they're too cheap. They're coming in off of a bye week. We see 2 out of the last 3 games, actually pretty darn productive games from 13 and 15 DFS points there. We like that. They are coming in off of a bye week, and they are playing the Raiders, who have been pretty poor defensively. And so I don't mind that there as well. And so as always, I like to give you guys a first look build here. We could get to lock it in the captain spot. I'm okay with that. Obviously, I'd rather get to CeeDee Lamb, Genty, Bowers, Dak, I'm fine with. But then we can also get to one of the kickers. That's kind of an easy route to go, I think. And then kind of another look in terms of like a hand build you could build is maybe go with like Pickens instead of Bowers. Then you still have Dak, CeeDee Lamb, feeling pretty good about that. We are still running it back with the Raiders enough. Could go with Cowboys DST. I don't mind that, but obviously we're playing lock in the captain spot. That doesn't really make sense. We could go Michael Mayer there, which if you're not getting to Brock Bowers, I think that lineup actually makes a decent amount of sense there as well. Enough of kind of what I'm thinking, guys. Let's go ahead and see what the data is telling us is going to be some of the best builds for this game. And so, guys, just going to run 5 lineups from the 9-to-5 lineup builder. Pretty simple approach here, and just see kind of what's been out to us as the best builds right now. So Dak in the captain, CeeDee Lamb, Geno. Again, I don't necessarily like Geno. Brock Bowers, that makes sense. Brandon Aubrey, and then John Besh. Again, I don't think we necessarily need to get a Besh. He is probably too cheap. I think we want to be into Tyler Lockett the most. So this lineup actually like a little bit more. Lockett, Mayer, Bowers. I'm actually okay with double tight end there with the Oakland, wow. With the Las Vegas Raiders. Geno Smith, Genty, and Dak ends up being a pretty solid build there as well. Again, I probably am prioritizing CeeDee Lamb. If Dak is in the captain spot, I'm a little bit less inclined to get to Javonte Williams, and that's kind of what the data's showing, so I don't mind that. I do think we want to begin to Javonte in the captain spot. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Appreciate you being here. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel as well. That's going to do it for this video. See you guys on the next video, which will be me covering the first look for week 12 in the NFL DFS season. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck, and as always, let's keep cashing.